Hello, all you fine, beautiful people. I'm back here once again with another reaction, and today I'm going to be doing a three-song reaction to Meatloaf, where the songs are Everything is Permitted, Bad Attitude, and Life is a Lemon, and I Want My Money Back. If you're new to the channel, I play each song, give you my thoughts and opinions after each song, and till it's over. If you're new to the channel, comment down below. Let me know what songs you want to hear or artists. I have a bunch of polls up. Go ahead and vote on them. But anyway, getting into this, let's start off with the first song. Everything is Permitted by Meatloaf. Beautiful.
Everything is permitted. Ooh, everything is allowed. And all our gods we have outweighed. Ooh, we are running with the crowd. And all the clocks are showing zero. And all our parents must have fled. And we just never had no heroes. And all our enemies will soon be stone cold dead. Everything is permitted. Ooh, there is nothing out of bounds. There are no limits or no fences. Ooh, there is always some way around. And all the compass points are zero. And all the navigators fled. And we just never had no heroes. And all our enemies will soon be stone cold dead. If everything is permitted, ooh, nothing ever is taboo. Then there is always something shattered. Ooh, and there is something breaking through.
Want this whole
And all the clocks are showing zero. And all our parents must have left. And we just never had no heroes. And all our enemies will soon be stone cold dead. If everything is permitted, if nothing ever is taboo, then there's always something shattered. Ooh, and there's something breaking through. And there is always something shattered. And there's something breaking through. Everything is permitted.
So that is the song Everything is Permitted by Meatloaf. Wow, I like this a lot. Feels definitely, I know this is a follow-up to Bat Out of Hell. Definitely feels like it's a song that would fit on Bat Out of Hell. Uh Whether it be like the musical string arrangement in there feels very familiar to that album like it would be. I definitely love Meatloaf's voice. Like he's one of those singers that is just absolutely gorgeous at times. I know there's a lot of people out there that are not a huge Meatloaf fans out there, and I understand it. But I think the combination of Meatloaf and Jim Steinman actually works really well together. Just listening to this has a very kind of gorgeous feel to it. The lyrical context to it, everything is permitted, everything is allowed, all our gods we have outwitted, we are running with the crowd, all the clocks are showing zero, all our parents must have fled, and we just never had no heroes, and all our enemies will soon be stone cold dead. Like, wow. Everything is permitted. There is nothing out of bounds. There are no limits or fences. There is always some way around. And all the compass points are zero, and the navigators fled, and we have never had no heroes. All our enemies will soon be stone cold dead. Really is like definitely anarchy, no taboos, everything's permitted, and it's a really interesting song to listen to by Meatloaf because, like I said in the beginning, like the way he sings this is beautiful, where it's at that kind of refrained Meatloaf, where he's not like bombastic over the top. It's kind of a lot more soulful way he's singing this, and I just like it. He's one of those singers that I remember very early on in life, like in our family car. I know people on the channel have been subscribers for a long time. I've heard the story. There's two albums in the family car when I was growing up. It was Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell and the Footloose soundtrack. And I remember constantly listening to that, which probably at the ages I were, most teachers were probably like, how the hell is your kid listening to that? And I remember when Bat Out of Hell 2 came out, because then that got added to the rotation. And I always love that record. And it's kind of a shame that like this period of Meatloaf, which quite honestly, other than the first Bat Out of Hell and maybe Dead Ringer for Love with Cher, which I believe is also on this album, quite honestly, no one gave a shit about Meatloaf. And it's sad up until Bat Out of Hell 2 came out. And then after that, it was kind of like, oh, not until Bat Out of Hell 3 came out. So it's kind of sad that like a lot of his kind of in-between stuff doesn't really get, I think, talked about very much. But it really is some good music. Like, I don't hate it. I think it's actually quite good. But on to the next song on the album, next song in the reaction, Bad Attitude. Now, I read somewhere that this is Meatloaf and Roger Daltrey of The Who, so this definitely has my attention. So I can't wait to hear this, see how that sounds. So without further ado, here it is. Bad Attitude by Meatloaf.
When you gonna shape up? How long is She says you never call. How come you're acting so tough? You either hold me too tight or you don't hold me enough. Don't be afraid of me, angel. I ain't about to clip your wings. Just put your feet on the ground and your arms around a real thing. You gotta love me for keeps, never the next, and for the future, and give me your best. For you're never gonna have a normal family life. Screaming up and down and screaming on the back of your mind. Where there are winners and outlaws and leaders and lovers behind every man in the news. And one thing I know is behind everyone is a boy who had nothing to lose. Behind every man who has something to say, there's a boy who had nothing to prove. Every hero was once, every villain was once, just a boy with a bad attitude. Every hero was once, every villain was once, just a boy with a bad attitude. Bad attitude. You got us tearing our hair. Such a bad attitude. Oh, you just don't seem to care. We try to lay down the rules, but you were born to refuse. What's the world gonna do with a boy like you? You got it bad. You got a bad attitude. You're trying to lay down the rules, but I was born to refuse. What's the world gonna do with a man like you? Oh, you got it bad. No, you got it bad. You got it bad. Oh, you got it bad. You got it bad. Oh, you got it bad. You got a bad attitude. Just a boy with a bad attitude. Every hero was once, every villain was once, just a boy. There are winners and outlaws and leaders and lovers behind every man in the news. And the one thing I know is behind everyone there's a boy who had nothing to lose. Behind every man who has something to say, there's a boy who had nothing to prove. Every hero was once, every villain was once, just a boy with a bad attitude. Every hero was once, every villain was once, just a boy with a bad attitude. Oh, you got it bad. Ooh, you got it bad. Oh, you got a bad attitude. Oh, you got it bad. You got it bad. You got a bad attitude.
So that was Bad Attitude by Meatloaf. I have to say, I actually really like this song in a very kind of strange way. I actually really like this song a lot. Has a very interesting drumming at the beginning of it. Uh, just a really interesting track. Like I know it says Roger Daltrey's on this track. I'm not sure if it's him and Meatloaf singing at the same time for the Bad Attitude, but it feels a lot like Meatloaf. I could just be completely wrong. I like the there's some lyrics in here I actually really like. I just gotta find it here. You got to pick a career, go for the gold, smile for the camera, do what you're told. Well, you can take away the ladder because I ain't going to climb it. If there's a stairway to heaven, I swear I'm going to find it. Really interesting lyrics. And then there are winners and outlaws and leaders and lovers behind every man in the news. And one thing I know is behind every one, there's a boy who had nothing to lose. Behind every man who has something to say, there's a boy who has something to prove. Every hero was once, every villain was once just a boy with a bad attitude. So true. And it kind of goes back to line I once heard in what was it? Star Trek Deep Space Nine. There's a character called Gul Dukat, and he had a line, and he's the antagonist throughout the whole show, and he had a line in there where he said, "Every man's hero is another man's villain." And it's so true in life, where if you think about it, it's all about perspective. It's all about nobody thinks, well, I'm the bad guy. Everyone thinks they're the hero in their own story. And it's really interesting. But this one, do I like it as much as the first one? I don't know. I actually don't think so. It feels more like just hard rocking Meatloaf, but it does get kind of singy. Like, one thing I noticed about Meatloaf during his career is he has some songs where he just keeps repeating the chorus over and over, and it feels like at times he does that. But I'm not going to say it's a bad song. I actually wanted to look at this album pretty much based off the album cover. I'll say for the most part, Meatloaf has pretty good album covers. It wasn't written by John Steinman. It says here by Paul Jacobs and Sarah Durkee. Interesting. I know him and Steinman had a falling out, I think, around the Dead Ringer album, where Meatloaf, I think, wanted to go just keep rocking and all that. And I think Steinman had writer's block, if I believe, and it took him a long time to get Bat Out of Hell 2 written, which this next song's from. So we're going to the next song. This is one I just picked for myself. I know when people talk about Meatloaf and, like, especially this album, Bat Out of Hell 2, songs that always get mentioned are "I'd Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That," "Objects in the Rearview Mirror," and stuff like that. But one of my favorite songs from this album, I thought I'd play for you guys, kind of listen to this, break it down, is the second track from the album, which is a great hard rocker called "Life is a Lemon and I Want My Money Back" by Meatloaf.
It's defective. All the batteries are shot. What about your friends? They're defective. All the parts are out of stock. What about hope? It's defective. It's corroded and decayed. What about faith? It's defective. It's tattered and it's frayed. What about your gods? They're defective. They forgot the warranty. What about your town? It's defective. It's a dead end street to me. What about your school? It's defective. It's a packed up useless land. What about your work? It's defective. It's a crock and then you
So that was Life is a Lemon and I Want My Money Back by Meatloaf. Wow. What a song. I absolutely love this song by Meatloaf a lot. Like, it's one of my all-time favorite songs by him. Uh, there's an energy to it that listening to the other two songs, it goes into a whole nother gear that I think those songs just don't have. Uh, it's just a great hard rock and tune. And listening to this is wow. Like Meatloaf is this is more of what you'd expect from Meatloaf, like the big bombastic voice, kind of unrelenting, just vocally just like hitting notes that I'm like, wow. And holding them there in just complete it's a kick-ass tune. And I think when you listen to stuff like I Do Anything for Love, Objects in the Rearview Mirror, uh, it showcases a more rockin' side of Meatloaf, but also still has those kind of string elements, the orchestra kind of elements in there, or I guess more symphonic elements. Just really good. I've always loved this album a lot. Like it's one of those albums it's just one of those songs off this album that no matter what I've always gone back to, always loved. I've always loved the lyrics from this, how it starts off with kind of the chorus, I want my money back, and talking about life in the same way you talk about a car. Because for some of you might not be familiar, like the term lemon got thrown around a lot with automobiles, especially like, oh, went out, bought a Corvette. It turned out to be a lemon. It's an automotive term more so, I'd say, than anything. But I love how they turned it around and used it to talk about life. I've always really dug this song. It's All or Nothing, and nothing's all I ever get. Every time I turn it on, I burn it up or burn it out. It's always something. There's always something going wrong. That's the only guarantee. That's what this is all about. Just a great verse about how everything in life goes wrong, no matter what you're trying to do. It just doesn't seem to go as planned. And especially around the time this was released was kind of in the heyday of grunge. So I could see this catching on quite a bit. It's a never-ending attack. Everything's a lie, and that's a fact. Life is a lemon, and I want my money back. I think this song also over the last few years has really got a lot more deeper meaning for some over the last number of years, especially with the next verse and all the morons and all the stooges with their coins. They're the ones that make the rules. It's not a game. It's just a route. There's desperation. There's desperation in the air. It leaves a stain on all your clothes and no detergent gets it out. And we're always slipping through the cracks. Then the movie's over, fade to black. Life is a lemon, and I want my money back. Like, wow. It's so true, especially what it seems like this greater divide between rich and poor is just getting more and more and more. And at times, people have just become more desperate. A lot more desperate. And I always loved the bridge to this because I think this is, in my opinion, one of the best parts of the whole song, where he goes, what about love? It's defective. It's always breaking in half. What about sex? It's defective. It's never built to really last. What about your family? It's defective. All the batteries are shot. What about your friends? They're defective. All the parts are out of stock. What about hope? It's defective. It's corroded and decayed. What about your faith? It's defective. It's tattered and it's frayed. What about your gods? They're defective. They forgot the warranty. What about your town? It's defective. It's a dead end street to me. What about your school? It's defective. It's a pack of useless lies. What about your work? It's defective. It's a crock and then you die. What about your childhood? It's defective. It's dead and buried in the past. What about your future? It's defective. You can shove it up your ass. It's really interesting for me how this goes from pretty much talking about in this whole thing, like you could even throw like automotive stuff in here, like talking about like it's defective, like it breaking in half, never built to really last. All the batteries are shot, parts are out of stock, corroded and decayed, tattered and it's frayed. They forgot the warranty. And then afterwards, it moves into the more life part of it. And especially the line, what about your school? It's defective. It's a pack of useless lies. It feels more so, and I kind of noticed it a little bit when I was in school, but I think it's gotten worse, is that instead of school being a place where you go to learn, it seems to be more like school, you go to a place to get indoctrinated. It's not necessarily about what you know, it's kind of who you know, and it's about stuff that really to me shouldn't matter, but for some reason it does. And then the whole part about what about your childhood? It's defective, it's dead and buried in the past. And what about your future? It's defective, you can shove it up your ass. Just a great part of this song, and then goes right into the life is a lemon and I want my money back. But the way the song is constructed, I love that mini little instrumental section in the middle with the guitars, the strings. It's just a well-crafted, well-written song. And I think for me, this is the album that I would definitely say, I know there's people that'll say Meatloaf's best album might be his first one. I actually love this album more than the first one because I feel like it's a lot more mature Meatloaf. Like the whole first one's about teenage rebellion, sex, drugs, whatever you want. This one feels more like it's more personal, like it's more life experience, it's more lived. And the songs are just, to me, stand out. Like there's start to finish, I think this whole album is really good, but this song definitely illustrates like a whole darker feel to it, where on the first album it felt more like also adventurous in a way. This feels more like, okay, we've seen what's happened. And I love how they always called the album Bat Out of Hell 2 Back into Hell, almost like he got out of hell to escape, now he's coming back. And one thing I'll give Meatloaf is I've always found his album covers very interesting. Like he's always had great album art on a lot of his albums, especially the Bat Out of Hell ones. But anyway, that's my thoughts and opinions. I'd love to know what you guys think. Comment down below. Once again, have to say thank you guys so much for watching. Is there any other songs by Meatloaf or any other artists you want me to check out? Comment down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching. This is me here once again signing out. Peace.